on YouTube. So, a Wednesday afternoon autumn ride on the Honda CL500. And I've been messing about with the angles on this old camera. I've been trying to get some life back into it. Somebody complained last time they thought the camera was stuck in zoom. I'm not sure what was going on with it. I don't really, I just turn it on and what I get is what I get, but I thought I'll just back it off a little bit because if I'm being honest, I hadn't noticed it. To me it was just the picture the camera takes, and I've changed the frames per second up to 60 from 30, and I've increased the angle of the lens. It's the highest setting or the widest setting, whatever you want to call it, that this old drift coast will do. I'm just making this film to see if it actually makes any difference. I've spent the last few days just messing with my Nikon bridge camera, and I have to say I quite enjoyed it. I've all my crash helmets. I've 4 functional crash helmets, and 3 of them no longer have camera mounts. I've just taken them off. It's getting a lot of turbulence, and I think part of it was the mount, and the rest of it was the screen I used to have on here. I came out half an hour ago, 1 o'clock. I set off on my ride, and I got as far as here, which is Lund. Oh, and it was giving me a headache. I've taken the big screen off because that caused major problems when we went to Lancashire. God, bloody damn near deafened me. So I went back to the small screen, and then I had the problem where I stretched the fastenings on that big screen, which, if I'm being honest with you, wasn't the end of the world. So that all got chucked in the dustbin and just left me with a large piece of perspex. So I put the little screen back on thinking that was better. I can't say I'd noticed any real issues, but of course it's the calm days of summer that I was riding through, wasn't it? And I was tending to do country lanes, not A roads like this one. And I say, coming up this road this dinner time, it was like, the turbulence was horrible. It was horrible to the point where the thought went through my head, God, I wouldn't want to ride on the motorway with this on. And it actually popped off the other day when I was riding it, so I stuck the screen in the bag and put it back up when I got back to the house. But I did notice, it was only a short 3 or 4 mile ride, but I did seem to notice that the handling seemed a lot lighter, and it felt far calmer, even though I was wearing my open face helmet. So I thought, right, we'll get to the bottom of this. So I turned the bike around, went back, and I've taken it off. I've come back and ridden exactly the same route again. You still get the wind noise, but you can live with it. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't make your head hurt. It's just air passing me in a normal fashion. And I have to say, the steering feels much better as well. The weight on the steering has gone, so that's an improvement. And this is how Honda designed it. They didn't design it, if they designed it with a screen on, they'll probably, in the design of production, they would have counted into it the effects it had on the bike's handling. But of course it isn't. It's a scrambler, so it is what it is. And I have to say, in this original scenario, it's better altogether. it feels more stable, it's not as noisy. I can actually hear the exhaust, which you can't do when you've got the screens on. And I do remember Richard doing something similar. I don't think it was with his existing CB500X. I think it was with the one that was written off in the accident. And I seem to remember him saying, I can't do anything with these screens. And I think at one point he actually took the screen off the old CB500, and he said it was by far the better. And he's also said to me he wouldn't think about putting a fly screen on Animal on his Z1000, he said, because it would just ruin it. And having ridden this without the screen, I'm inclined to agree with him. So yeah, it's cool. So I've been talking on the group. We have a WhatsApp group, the lads that come out on our rides talk on. It's called the Brown Saddle Group. And I was having a chat on there. And in the last week, I sort of, you know, I'm a year into this bike now, and it's just getting a little bit, shall I keep it, and you know, shall I change it? And I've seen a couple of bikes that I like. One of them is a Harley Davidson. Now, what's happening here? Is it yours? Yeah. Is he quite shy? Is he quite shy?
Yeah, it's not going in. I can't catch it.
Ah, it's sad, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you'll be frightened with the traffic. This ain't going to end well if we're not careful, is it? Yeah. Do you know who the owner is? Oh dear. Cheerio. Just leave this camera on because we've got a stray dog on the road. Poor old lad, he's frightened to death. What is he? I'm frightened he gets knocked down. And I'm also frightened he runs into me. This is not good. And he's wearing a collar and he's got a name tag on it. I don't see what I can do, to be honest. Catching him is just about impossible. No, that is my worst nightmare, is that. So, completely forgot what I was talking about. I was talking about the bike. Yeah, so the other bike I had a look at was a rather nice looking 24 plate NC750X, But very quickly I discovered, well, Richard pointed out the big problem with the Harley, which was expensive servicing and imperial measurements, you know, fasteners. And although I think they look really nice, but they've got a bit of a history of unreliability, yada yada. So, and also the frame size on the Nightster 975 and the 883 is a little bit too small for me, says he who rides a monkey bike. So you know what I mean. So then I had a look at the NC 750. Yeah, nice bike. I have to say the colour scheme on the one I looked at was a bit, it was like all grey. And when he first saw it, he sort of thought, oh, that's different. But then I looked at it again, I thought, no, actually that's boring. It looks like it's just been put into a primer coat and left. And whoever's owned it prior had sprayed all the other black bits the same bloody colour. So it's like, in the end I looked, I thought, actually it looks bloody daft. And it was 214, I was either 214 or 216 kilos. So it was like 20 kilos heavier than this now. About 2 weeks ago I had a puncture on this and managed to push the bike off its main stand, and thankfully the engine bar saved it, so no drama there. But I could pick this one up. But I have to say, with my hand on my heart, it was at the limits. I definitely struggled to pick it up. I think it's an age thing, because in my 40s I wouldn't have thought twice about it. The monkey bike, that even then, you know, the monkey bike's a piece of cake, 104 kilos. But then I got to thinking about what was I going to do with these bikes. Well, all I do is I go out for a country lane ride, go for a cup of tea, go home, and that's it, once a week if I'm lucky. And then we come to the Yorkshireman in me. How much are we going to lose? £6,100 this black edition cost me. I'll have had it a year this coming Saturday. I got it on the 12th of October last year, so it's Saturday. This Saturday will be the anniversary of the day I went to buy it, because it was a Saturday when I bought it. I reckon if I'm lucky I'll get between 3,500 and 3,800 if I go by the prices I got previously and how much profit. Like in my NT 1100, MKS made, it was like £800 or £900 in profit. That was it. And on my Africa Twin, it was about the same. So I reckon they're going to want at least £600 of profit, and probably more. So if you take the £800 away from what these are selling for, these are going for between 4,500 and 4,750 second hand. So if you work it out with your head, yada yada, you're going to lose about 800 quid. And selling it privately, well, it's wrong time of year, that's not going to happen. And so I made myself a cup of tea, went and sat in the garage with the bikes, and in the end came to the conclusion I'm doing alright with this. This ticks all the boxes, and it does it really well. There's no task I've put this CL to this year where it hasn't shone. Motorway work, tick, no problem. Cruise all day, 80 miles an hour, piece of cake. 90 miles to the gallon. It's just gone on to the reserve now, and it's done 160 miles. And the reserve is flashing, and I know it'll do another 40 miles. I'm going to fill it up at Friday thought, but it'll do another 40 miles. No problem at all. And the countdown's now on, so it lets you know, you know. And I've spent all year buying little bits and pieces for it, you know, I got the black edition with all the extra kit. I've got my nice sat-nav Beeline. I've got my Kite heated equipment fitted to it. I've got this nice comfort saddle. It is the comfy, of all the bikes I have had, including the NT 1100, this is as comfy as the NT 1100. In fact, I would say it's comfier. I have no trouble getting on and off it. I have no trouble wheeling it around. I understand how it works. I could service this myself if I wanted to. And no, I think I'm on the right bike. You know, the cafe and shop's open. Yeah, you know, so, and I mean, if you wanted to make this interesting, seriously, I'm not being silly. You could buy, unbelievable, just drove up the bloody grass. Yeah, you could buy, a different coloured tank. And that's the only difference between the range, the colour of the tank. If you wanted to make this the latest year colour, just buy the yellow tank. That's it. And it's a 2-minute job. One bolt at the back and the electrical connections underneath, the tank's off. I know that's a silly thing to say, but you know, it's basically the biggest part of the bike is the petrol tank, and that's what you look at, isn't it? So that's what happens when you get bored and you got nothing to do on a wet Saturday in October. You've been warned.
There goes Graham on the mighty sail.